Anything that is conceivable is possible. All knowledge degenerates into probability. Truth springs from argument amongst friends. A wise man proportions his belief to the evidence. I do not have enough faith to believe there is no God. It is not reason which is the guide of life, but custom. It is seldom that liberty of any kind is lost all at once. Beauty in things exists in the mind which contemplates them. David Hume quote, "All knowledge degenerates into probability." History is the discovering of the principles of human nature. When men are most sure and arrogant, they are commonly most mistaken. Anticipation of pleasure is, in itself, a very considerable pleasure. There is no such thing as freedom of choice, unless there is freedom to refuse. To hate, to love, to think, to feel, to see, all this is nothing but to perceive. A little philosophy makes a man an atheist. A great deal converts him to religion. The life of man is of no greater importance to the universe than that of an oyster. Human happiness seems to consist in three ingredients: action, pleasure, and indolence. Nothing is more surprising than the easiness with which the many are governed by the few. Reason is, and ought only to be the slave of the passions, and can never pretend to any other office than to serve and obey them. Beauty is no quality in things themselves. It exists merely in the mind which contemplates them, and each mind perceives a different beauty. If God is omnipotent, omniscient, and wholly good, whence evil? If God wills to prevent evil but cannot, then he is not omnipotent. If he can prevent evil but does not, then he is not good. In either case he is not God. Nothing can be more real, or concern us more, than our own sentiments of pleasure and uneasiness. And if these be favorable to virtue and unfavorable to vice, no more can be requisite to the regulation of our conduct and behavior. It is seldom that liberty of any kind is lost all at once. Slavery has so frightful an aspect to men accustomed to freedom, that it must steal upon them by degrees, and must disguise itself in 1,000 shapes, in order to be received. No quality of human nature is more remarkable, both in itself and in its consequences, than that propensity we have to sympathize with others, and to receive by communication their inclinations and sentiments, however different from, or even contrary to our own. For my part, when I enter most intimately into what I call myself, I always stumble on some particular perception or other, of heat or cold, light or shade, love or hatred, pain or pleasure. I never can catch myself at any time without a perception, and never can observe anything but the perception. The difference between a man who is led by opinion or emotion and one who is led by reason. The former, whether he will or not, performs things of which he is entirely ignorant. The latter is subordinate to no one, and only does those things which he knows to be of primary importance in his life, and which on that account he desires the most, and therefore I call the former a slave, but the latter free.